Game week is officially here. We're 6 days till kickoff. Saturday, noon, Tennessee, Syracuse. I think we're all ready to rock and roll at this point. And we'll just talk some Tennessee football today. Just game week, some things to look for this week. Seen some more projections come out. No surprises there, but I'll talk all that here in a minute. Make sure you hit that like, that share. If you have not hit that subscribe button, it is free. We'll be live tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Talk some Tennessee football leading up to the game week. May give a prediction along the way. Looks like Kerry Williams will be back on tomorrow night. Be good to have him on. Talk some Tennessee football. But let's get in this thing this week. It's game week, and I don't really think there's a lot of unknowns coming this week. There's a couple questions I have. Normally, the week of game week tomorrow, we'll see the depth chart come out. Here's what I expect it to look like on offense. Joey Aguilar, starting quarterback. Here's where I think it goes on running back. I think you're going to see two ors. I think you're going to see Deshaun Bishop or Peyton Lewis or Star Thomas. That's my prediction on it. I would expect Deshaun Bishop to get the first carries, but really like all three of those backs and even the freshmen. But I think those three are going to be your main guys with it. Wide receiver, I wouldn't be surprised to see some ors there. Maybe a Chris Brazzell or Travis Smith Jr. I think Mike Matthews, I don't know that he needs an or. I think he's there. And then the slot, you could see possibly Braylon Staley or Amari Jefferson. Definitely Braylon Staley, and maybe it's his job. Tight ends, you'll see Miles Kitzelman there. Of course, you're going to see Ethan Davis, Van Dorsalier, and Deson Brame. They're all going to play a lot. Offensive line, you're going Lance Hurd, left tackle, Wendell Moy Jr. at left guard. I expect to see Sam Pendleton at center, Jesse Perry, right guard, David Sanders Jr. at right tackle. That's what I'm thinking on offense. And, you know, a lot that I read on this, people outside, and I heard them talking yesterday on ESPN before the K-State, Iowa State game too. They're going on about a lot of unknowns. They're looking at the guys I heard on it were, of course, Dylan Sampson, lost. SEC Offensive Player of the Year is a big loss, but this is a deep room. Josh Heupel has said this is the deepest room they've had at running back. But I heard them, I kind of laughed on the telecast because they said they're replacing most of the offensive line. Not going to lie, guys, that's not a bad thing. That offensive line, I don't know. I mean, they did the job blocking, though. I mean, that's because Sampson had a huge year last year. The quarterback issues, I don't think were so much on the offensive line. At times there were. Now, there were some games that the tackles got beat pretty bad. But still yet, I like this offensive line a lot better. I think there's more talent. We saw it from the get-go when they come out. This looks like an SEC offensive line. Will they play like it? I expect they will. And you've got a guy back here at quarterback who's going to be a faster decision maker than the last 2 years. Will he throw some interceptions? Possibly so. But, you know, he's going to make some plays, too, that weren't made the last 2 years because he's not afraid to throw the football. And VolQuest.com, I think it was Eric Kane who did the article, had one talking with Joey Aguilar's quarterback coach and just talked about how he compared him to, he didn't say he's the next Brett Favre. He just said in terms of his mentality, Brett Favre, he's not afraid to make any throws. Said he's really high IQ quarterback and he processes things well. We've not seen that in a couple years. We just haven't. Quarterback play's been subpar. Yeah, it was two guys with talent, Joe Milton and Nico Imaliava, but it just didn't come together. But I think with Aguilar in this offense, you know, will it take him time to gel? That's what I'm curious about with the wide receivers being out. But now that you're getting all those reps going on, we know Aguilar is QB1. Your receivers are getting healthy. I expect them to come out and look pretty good against Syracuse. Will there be some hiccups along the way? Sure. Won't surprise me any. But at the same time, I think this offense is going to surprise some people, especially national pundits who maybe not think a whole lot of it. I think Aguilar is going to be the right fit for what we need. And it's got that storybook ending to it, possibly, with him Not saying they win a national championship by any means, but a guy who went to UCLA, Nico leaves Tennessee. You basically had a de facto swap of quarterbacks. And here's a guy that maybe didn't know where things were going to lead him. Now he's leading Tennessee, and he's got a big chance. And his quarterback coach said the same thing I've been saying. He's got more talent around him than anywhere else. And he also said he's getting more coaching here at Tennessee than he's gotten anywhere else. So I expect Joey Aguilar to have a really good year this year. Defense, we'll see. I think you're going to see Dominic Bailey, probably Dominic Bailey or Tyree West, Jackson Moy, Bryson Eason, Joshua Josephs. That's going to be your top four on the defensive line. Linebackers, I expect you'll see Arion Carter, Jeremiah Thielander, but we're going to see a lot of Edwin Spillman. Make no mistake about it. We'll see a lot of Spillman. I'm curious to see what the secondary is going to be. In particular, I expect Jermod McCoy will be out this week. Could be surprised on that, but I expect he'll be out. I'm thinking you're going to see Colton Hood, Ricky Gibson at the corners, and the wild card is what's Boo Carter's status. Josh Heupel spoke last week and was really happy with him. He said Boo's done some really good things, and he was really happy with him at that point in time. Is there a suspension in there? I don't think we know on that right now. Was it just Casey need to work his way back? I expect you'll see Jalen McMurray listed first at star. But if Boo's not suspended, you got to play him. You got to play him. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Safeties, you're going to see Turrentine at one safety. And will it be Farouk or Beasley? I think definitely Farouk probably comes out first. But you could see Farouk or Beasley on that as well. And then, I'm curious to see who the punt returner is going to be. Because if Boo's playing, it's got to be Boo. There's no doubt about it. But, if there is some suspension in there, I would be curious to see who would take it. Could it be Star Thomas? I'm speculating on him. I've seen where Mike Matthews has fielded punts. I think Staley has fielded punts. So they've got guys that can do it. But to me, if Boo Carter is playing, Boo Carter is your punt returner. There's no doubt about it. Talked earlier, ESPN released their projections on Tennessee, and it's no surprise. They picked them 9-3, losses to Georgia, Florida, Alabama. They had Alabama close to, it was like 68.4% chance to beat Tennessee. Georgia was closer to 60. Florida was right. It was like 51.5. So that one could change. And ESPN is actually higher on Tennessee than a lot. Their updated FPI rankings has Tennessee 8th right now. So ESPN, the old ESPN hates us. Their FPI likes Tennessee. They like them. And I'm sticking with what I said Monday night. I changed it. I said 11-3 overall, 10-2 regular season, 1-1 in the playoffs with it. I don't know which of the three they're going to get, Georgia, Florida, or Alabama, but I'm confident they're going to get one of them. They're going to get one of them. And again, what history of those matchups with Georgia recently, Bama and Florida on the road, not winning down there at either place since 2003. History doesn't exactly back up beating one of those three this year. But, to take that next step for Tennessee, you've got to get Georgia at some point. Week 3, maybe that's a good time to get Georgia here as well. Bama, Florida, if you're going to take those next steps again, you've got to start winning some of these big games on the road. Yeah, you got to give them credit. LSU 2022 was a big win. But, man, we've seen those performances where it's just been really rough at times the last couple of years. And I don't see I just don't see Mississippi State nor Kentucky having enough to beat Tennessee. If that offense will gel, I think the defense is going to be really good. And Georgia's the only one I see coming into Knoxville having a chance. I don't see Oklahoma winning in Knoxville. I don't see Arkansas winning in Knoxville as well. So who is it? I'm going with it. They're going to get one of the three. I don't know who it's going to be, though, on it. So I'm sticking with 10-2. playoffs, they'll get to host first round game, probably where they fall. And then the second round, you'll go to a higher seed at that point because there's not the 4 automatic buys to, say, a Big 12 team that's barely in getting a top 4 seed. So that would, last year that would have moved Tennessee up to host an SMU in the first round. I would have liked Tennessee's chances a lot in that game. But we're here. We're 6 days away. The wait is almost over. I'll see you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. This is Frank. This is the House of Orange. I'll see you when I see you.